Fashion designer thought school offing uniforms were a good idea. I've honestly seen some questionable stuff come down those fashion shows, stuff that looks straight out of video games. Honestly, I'm kind of wondering, why did you have to do this? And in addition, those are not vintage holes for fashion. Those are freaking bullet holes. Thank you. Maybe for future events, let's just have a moral code and ground to not try to make a fashion statement out of, some very bad stuff. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another video for the day. We're going back into r/trashy because honestly some people are horrible. Like, seriously, dude, if you guys would like to be absolutely amazing, show your support, and to see more videos like this one in the near future, be sure to hit that like button, leave a comment down below to start up some wholesome internet discussions, and if you have not already, subscribe and turn on notifications. Also, I kind of have noticed some people commenting on some kind of humming in the mics. I've been trying to change around my settings, so if you do still happen to hear that, please do let me know down below. I'm working on it. Apparently there was some context to this in the case of the sense of, like, the owner was trying to cover up hail damage, but I honestly kind of think I would have preferred the hail dance. Either that or, there's a whole lot of things you could have done instead of putting a whole lot of babies on it, because it's just uncomfortable.
Do you ever look at someone and wonder what is going on inside their head?
Don't you remember, these are just natural growing plants. You put the coke seeds in the ground and then you know what, they just sprout themselves. Don't you love just nature and how it happens, just walking around, all the hikes and stuff? It's great exercise, by the way. Slap them cheeks, boy. Ah, yes, because nothing is more entertaining than harassing people in the sense I can't really say on YouTube, that kind of sense. Apple Watch SE 44mm Folsom. You live in a nice area or a prison and your special Christmas time, you're selling a knocked-off Apple Watch. You must be from Maryland. For $250. I'm assuming the latter. Low-life scum losers like you make me sick and are the reason the world is in shambles. Only people is thieves to sell new products online. Crayfish scams. I wish losers of your kind will choke on a puck and die. I will report you to every means, nevertheless, to keep your scum off the streets. If you want a reality check, go to normal city and see homeless everywhere you are lower than filth to them. At most, $150 for your watch cash. Don't be a racist D against poor people. You can afford another watch, but you can't afford to be a bigger scumbag. I will pay postage. I am in SAC. Please send address. Oh yeah, just wonderful. The dude's downright threatening and everything. Yeah, totally, I'm gonna give him my address. Is this dude upset because it's out of his price range? Like, my dude, there are cheaper watches that you can get. Nor thieves, nor greedy, nor drunkards, nor slanderers, nor swindlers will inherit the kingdom of God. Ah yes, he's getting religious after it all. And the real kicker, what a surprise, it's a Craigslist ad. Stop stealing my Christmas decorations. Hey, look, if anybody's gonna make an effort to stop Christmas from coming, we all know exactly who it's gonna be. But yeah, no, in all realness, please do not steal anybody's stuff. That is property theft, and unfortunately, the people that like to steal a lot of stuff oftentimes can't understand that probably this is not the best moral thing to do, but you know what? Here we are. Some people really think it's all fun and games until you do that little family car ride to go look at all the Christmas decorations and wonder why there's barbed wire everywhere. It's that good old Christmas story. 'Twas the night before somebody tried to be slick. The second I saw this, I was automatically thinking back to all of my family trips of going to North Carolina to see your extended family there, and honestly, it had me kind of thinking, North Carolina is like a trial run for Florida man. Like, just as you go down south, down the coastal line, it gets closer and closer to Florida man level. So I'm going to take a wild guess and say that this is at the bottom of North Carolina or right at the top of South Carolina. I don't even know why people think that they can just be all willing. I've seen people driving with automatic transmissions and they just don't have a footrest for their left foot, so they got that stuff just hanging out the window. Like, people really don't give a darn about where they put their feet, and honestly, there is no limit to where people will put their feet. Ah yes, what every in-flight movie needs, frickin' hair over the chair. As somebody who probably has longer hair than this person, can you stop? You're not nice, and you can have an entire flight without having to whip your hair over the back of your chair. I honestly got no idea how this person and then the person beforehand can have just the feeling of self-centeredness to this level. Like, you're just going to obstruct everybody else's day for the sake of your own comfort. And this is like I've said in the past, if it doesn't obstruct anything or doesn't doesn't impact anybody negatively, have full will to be able to do it. It's your choice to do it. But this is not that. You're making it so that the dude has to weave through the hair in order to watch the dang movie. You know, honestly, I gotta say, seeing stuff like this on public transportation was a very good motivator for me to get my own driver's license, and if anybody does have the opportunity to be able to get their own driver's licenses and have the income to be able to afford a vehicle, I say definitely do it, because it is so much better than having to deal with people being like this. Like, my dad and I recently went to SEMA, and we got to ride the Deuce bus, which is the double-decker bus, and for some reason, there was this lady that just was, like, completely irate and just shouting on the bus, and we had to get off and wait for the next bus, because I honestly didn't know if she was going to start getting confrontational with everybody. Like, seriously, that's the only time I've ever taken my GoPro out for the sake of my own safety, because you really do get some questionable people on public transport. You know, as much as I want to say literally anything about how dirty the car is, because obviously trashy car equals r/trashy, I honestly want to know where the heck he went to get that plate approved, because honestly, I know for a fact that personalized plates have a lot of things that they can't do. I don't know what the standards are in New York, but I want to know if that's just a fake plate or if that's a legitimate thing, and then DMV was just had one guy that was just really cool throughout the day. Bomb squad called at A&E, where patient turns up with a World War II shell lodged in his rectum. UK really trying to compete with the Florida man nowadays. Jesus, dude, we got some competition overseas. And you know, I don't know much about World War II era explosives, but I'm fairly certain if it was gonna go off, it would have tried going off in the insertion process, because I'm thinking right now it's probably just a dud. I don't know, either way, I'm honestly wondering, hey, Florida, ball's in your court now. Woman caught breastfeeding her hairless cat on a Delta flight. Well, of course it's a Delta flight. Also, I think I downloaded the wrong episode of Dragon Ball Super, because I was not expecting next week's episode to have Beerus doing something like that. And really, all the stuff I've seen in the news about stuff happening on Delta flights, it honestly has me kind of thinking that that's kind of like the Florida man equivalent of airline travel. Guy in a wheelchair with a baby, and honestly, nobody has any type of self-conscience to put their carts away, and honestly, it's one of the things that I hate the most about going to work in retail, is because nobody knows how to put carts away, and honestly, some people make an extra effort and be lazy, and I know that sounds like a weird phrase, but where I work, we have the place where you can get the carts right when you walk in. Like, you walk in, you turn left, it's between the two sliding glass door areas, carts are all there. I will have people, and I'm not even kidding, bring the cart in, find out where it is, they get the cart, they do their entire transaction, and then leave it right outside of one of the doors. Like, instead of walking the extra 6 feet. This here is just them being an extra douche, because God forbid people forget that some people can't walk. And what really sucks is, it's not illegal to do this, it's just more so a nice thing to do, and it really goes to show that there's a lot of people that just downright aren't friendly with anyone. And I'm fairly certain common courtesy went out the window decades ago. The family of a teenager killed in a 116-mile-an-hour Tesla crash is suing the company, alleging it makes unreasonably dangerous cars. The high-speed crash that killed 2 teenagers in a Tesla Model S last May could have been prevented, the family of one victim alleged in a new lawsuit. Yes, of course, it's because Tesla is the reason the car went 116 miles an hour, not the fact that you let your kid behind the wheel. Also, don't Teslas have some of the best crash test ratings out of all? Like, they have all of these autonomous, the auto stopping, the auto steering, the autopilot feature. So this had to have been some kind of manual override. But of course, I don't know if that point will get across to them. They're just gonna blame the company. I know that there from time to time are some errors with the autopilot feature, but none of those errors get you up to 116 miles an hour. The only error that could possibly get you up to that speed is the human error of flooring it, especially in areas with traffic where you're only supposed to be doing a third of that speed. Was I in the right? Jesus, if the voting is this one-sided, this has gotta be douchey. My boyfriend bought me Chipotle and brought it to me, and I told him what I wanted on it. Well, he forgot to get corn on it, even though I told him I wanted corn. I feel pissed off that he can't do anything right. I guess I yelled at him for it, and he started tearing up and apologized. He said he was just trying to make me happy. I told him to not even bother if he can't do one thing I asked him. He ended up leaving, but I was wondering if I had the right to be mad at him. He isn't answering my calls, and I'm starting to feel like I might have overreacted, but I don't know. I just don't know how one guy can be so so dumb. How can you overreact that much to frickin' Chipotle orders? Like, seriously, was there anything that was stopping you from going to get it yourself? And he only got one thing wrong. It's not like corn is the end of the world for it all. You didn't need to get irate and just yell at him. And you're consulting people on the internet to try to see if your overreaction for him not having fricking corn on it all is justified. So I'm very much hoping that this voting result gets a point across for you. But with that, that is going to have to be it with the video. If you guys would love to be absolutely amazing, show your support, and see more videos like this one in the near future, be sure to hit that like button, leave a comment down below to start some wholesome internet discussions, and hopefully I got this mic thing set up right so there's no humming in the background anymore. That'd be just great if I got that down. My mic sensitivity was at 100 and I turned it down to 88. And lastly, if you have not already, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. I'll be sure to see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching, and bye-bye.